Supply and demand curves. Hey, I told you I was going to show you this. So here we go. We can play around with this. Oh, a rightward shift in demand would increase the price, or a leftward shift in demand would decrease them. See that? That's what I was talking about with the example with my fingers, right? You can envision this on your mind. And you're sitting there in the Prometric Center and taking your test. Oh, okay. What would a leftward shift in the demand curve do? Well, it would decrease price and decrease quantity. And what if it says there's a leftward shift in the demand curve and a rightward in the supply? Well, you got to do both of those. And you can see it could result in actually the same quantity level, but possibly a different price level, or it would result in a different price level. You see that there. Questions could be very tricky. I mean, we've got, let's say, a rightward shift and a leftward shift of the supply, and we could have the same quantity here still, but see, we've got the a different price level. It keeps changing. So play around with the graphs as you see fit. There's plenty of online tools. We've got a lot of great tools here as well. A rightward shift in the demand curve increases the price of the good and the quantity demanded. Makes sense, right? What we just saw. You can think about that also. If everyone wants a new car, well, the price of cars are going to go up and the quantity demanded goes up. If supply goes up, the quantity supplied of cars goes up and the price goes down because there's more supply in the market. Rightward shift in the supply curve decreases the price of the good and increases the quantity supplied. All right, let's talk about our short run and long run aggregate supply. Here we go. Well, this is just supply, as you see. Short run aggregate supply curve is our normal looking one, and our long run aggregate supply is, see, this different one. Now, what is all of this here? Well, let's start with the short run aggregate supply. Upward sloping to depict the positive relationship between price and quantity. Assumes that all factors are variable and can be changed according to the needs and wants of the economy. Makes sense, right? This is the normal one. You can think of this like the normal one. And this changes based on what we talked about. If all of a sudden more materials are discovered, or the supply increases because we find something, or maybe the supply decreases because a warehouse burned down. Aggregate supply can be changed if price changes, or it can shift due to other factors other than price. Now, what about our long run aggregate supply? Why is this one strange? Why is that straight up and down? Well, that's because of the assumption that all resources are efficiently used to produce a good or service in the long run, and it cannot be changed further. So this is under the assumption, right? It's more theoretical you can think of, and it's the assumption that we're going to have our supply efficiently utilized. So it's going to be at a constant level. Now, because of this, as we say, the price varies in the long run, but the output level remains the same because the economy is already producing at the full employment level. Now, all you got to do here, just memorize that long run aggregate supply is the vertical, short run is the normal looking one, and in the long run, the supply is stagnant. In the short term, it can change, right? It's variable. In the long run, supply is just going to meet demand. That's what is going to happen, and it's stagnant. In the short term, it can increase and decrease to meet demand. Awesome. Okay, just more graphs for you. Just a great time. Well, what do we have here? We have leftward shifts in aggregate demand and supply. So that's a decrease in both of them. Leftward shifts in both are a decrease. And this graph demonstrates a recession caused by a shift in the aggregate demand curve. Look at this and go, oh no, that's a recession. Not a good time. So the decrease in aggregate demand, as you see here, causes the actual GDP level to fall below the potential GDP level. And yeah, just keep in mind equilibrium level. So bringing it back to here, we have our equilibrium level is here, and equilibrium is just wherever these 2 points meet, right? So move that. Okay, equilibrium was here. We see that it changed, so that would be the impact on the economy. Just interpret that as will. This over here, this is going to demonstrate a recession caused by a shift in the aggregate supply curve. Now, this is Aggregate demand, aggregate supply. This is the economy as a whole. You see, before we were just talking about microeconomics. I mean, it's a mix of both, but the price of the TV market. But this is the overall price level of goods, and this is the overall output, not just of TVs, but of the whole GDP. AD, aggregate demand. AS, aggregate supply. This is macroeconomics. This is the economy as a whole. Decrease in short run aggregate supply causes the actual GDP level to fall below the potential GDP level. You see what is going on here. It's basically just a mass change away from equilibrium, and that could hamper our GDP, which is not good, right? We want our GDP to increase. That is correlated with a positive growing economy. Can't have that all the time. It's unfortunate, but the good times will come again. Taking a look, really just to recap, both of these cause the output, the real GDP, to decrease.
Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.